So, my name's Sadie Clayton. I am originally from West Yorkshire, north of England, and I'm based in London. So, I am an artist, I'm a creator, a maker, and an innovator. You may think, why? Why do you not say you're a fashion designer? Why do you not say you're a painter? Why do you not say you're a sculptor? It doesn't matter. You know, the whole idea of the creative process is being able to enjoy and be inspired and create what you really feel means the best to you. So for me, I fuse fashion, art and technology. So when I say a fusion of fashion, art and technology, this is what I mean. So the one here, this is what I started doing. This is when I graduated from university and I created copper metal sculptures to fit the body. Copper is the material that I work with. That's what I'm known for. It's my speciality. Moving on, these are, again, a copper sculpture, but it's taken away from the body, and that's what's important. For me, it's all about the female form, and that's always a starting point. But why stop there? I think it's important that you take it away from the body, hang it upside down, it's a light fitting. Put it on the floor, it's a prototype for a coffee table. Onto the third image, we have holograms. This, again, it's a way of communicating an idea. So this was at the Royal Academy in London, and I collaborated with MDH. And again, communicating an idea, communicating my inspiration, and everything about why I created this collection. And the last image, this is actually a recent project, and I worked with a company that make hyper digitalization of clothing. This jacket was stolen 5 years ago, and we remade it through a computer. Again, this all goes back to technology. Fashion, art, and technology. Diversity. For me, this is a huge, important aspect of any creative process. Being from West Yorkshire, growing up in a very, very conservative space, being biracial, dual heritage, I have big hair, I've got big features, I always stood out from a crowd. So that meant whenever I'm immersed into this art world, I already had that point of difference, and that's really, you know, the grounding points within me to create these diverse pieces that you see here. So what you see here on this slide, my graduate collection, a couple of images here on this most beautiful black African model. If we come below here, we've got Sophia. This is when I first met her a few months ago in London. She's not a human. What is she? A humoid, a robot, but it doesn't matter. It's still a female form. And then here we have, this is when I did a catwalk in Rome, and it was all about supporting and celebrating diversity in fashion. And this model is clearly disabled, and she rocked the catwalk. She was the best model on the catwalk. And then above we have two British models, but again, look at the way that they're wearing the garments, not the other way around. You know, they are like, look, this is who I am, this is what I'm wearing, and this is empowering. And I feel great, strong, independent woman. Sorry for the guys in here. And lastly, on this slide, I feel really what I'm trying to say is the message is about, doesn't matter how tall you are, how short you are, how long your hair is, what colour eyes you have, how wide you are, if you've got a limb, if you haven't got a limb, it doesn't matter. You are you, you're individual, and you need to wear whatever makes you feel great and happy. Which leads me nicely onto this next slide, the power of creativity. You know, thinking about diversity and creativity, they kind of come hand in hand. So here is a slide about how can one be creative? Can you only be creative if you're a painter, if you're a sculptor? You know, can you only be creative if you work in digital art? And I think here that, you know, for me, this imagery that I've displayed here is about using what is already out there to inspire you, understanding what messages and what phrases, quotes, keywords come and spark from a little image. And that is the beginning of any form of creativity. Whether you're into yoga, dancing, reading, drawing, wherever it may be, you've got to be in your headspace, right? So this is what I'm trying to portray here with some of the images. You know, be in your zone. Get the feeling. You can't just design just because you've been put on the spot. And that's the way, me as an artist, me as a creator, that's the only way that I can be creative. By being in my zone, being in the right headspace. And these images reflect that. Spirituality. I'm very, very spiritual. And this is, I've got a very, very holistic approach to all of my creative processes. So what I've got here behind me are some images that reflect that. This one here in particular, this is one of my shows, and you can't see clearly, but this jacket is completely covered in Swarovski crystals. Copper is the stone for good luck. Pyrite is the stone for grounding. I can go on and on and on, but all these little things, you've got to find what it is within you that makes you inspired, that keeps you on your toes, that keeps you wanting to create more. And of course, the reason why I've got this image down here is because of the colours. Green obviously is the colour that copper goes once it's oxidised. What we've got above here, headspace again, it all comes under the cloud of spirituality. Feminine and powerful. So going back to what I said earlier about this feminine form, this empowerment, this strength, this embodiment, that's what I'm trying to portray here, not only through the copper metal sculptures, but through the voluptuous shapes that I've created here, within the woven fabrics, whether it be organza, cotton, wool, satin. And then on the left we have my copper metal sculptures, but actually, like I said, taken away from the body. Photograph it, hang it in a different way, and it could become something else. For example, this could quite easily be a building. And that for me is what is so exciting, not being put in that box of fashion designer. No, artist, creative, fusing fashion, art, technology. It's so important to feel that you can be in lots of different sectors of the creative industry. Architectural. So here are some images of the new works that actually you'll see throughout the exhibition, throughout the next 3 days. So this is portraying the idea of looking at a sculpture from a different angle. So, having something like this could quite easily be a staircase. Having something like this could be the start of an umbrella for conservatory furniture, patio furniture. Even here you can see the start of chandelier forming. And that's kind of that's what I'm trying to create. That is my message. I'm trying to show this art world that you don't have to be just that one kind of form of creativity. So here, please make sure that you go and see them in real life, throughout the exhibition, because seeing them in a photo is one thing, but seeing them in reality, the copper just shines. And last but not least, I just wanted to share with you a few things that I've been involved with in the past. So starting here, this is when Ron Arad and I were on BBC Radio 4. Not sure if anybody's familiar with Ron Arad's artworks, but he is a multidisciplinary artist, and he's the epitome of who I'd like to become. He creates champagne bowls to amazing chairs, all the way through to designing buildings. The one below is the Telegraph, which is when I did the show at the British Ambassador's house in Rome. We then have Fendi, when I worked with them, when I met the team in Miami, working through technology and digital kind of content. Then we've got Adobe. Some of you might be familiar with Photoshop, Illustrator. They flew over and filmed my creative process in my studio. And then above, we have Tate, the Tate Modern, the Tate Britain, when I worked with them, demonstrating my creative process, as well as leading workshops. And then we've got a couple of press images as well. My copper sculptures here in Hunger magazine, which is Rankins magazine. And then here, me in my studio, Aesthetica magazine, which is one of the world's leading art magazines.